All right, Amy, I will let you take it away. You're muted right now. Wait.
All right.
Or no, I had Dina talking first. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
Totally
I'm
fine.
closing.
If you want to switch it up now, you just let me know.
Dina, you go for it. I'm
sure?
prepared to close.
Okay, I apologize. This all makes sense now. Okay,
All good. It's all good.
let's get going.
All right. Well, as you heard, my name is Dina, and I would like to welcome you all to our Freedom Call. I'm very honored to be speaking tonight. Thank you, Erin, for asking me. And I'm honored to be speaking alongside these amazing individuals you're going to hear from this evening. I am blessed to be the mom of 4 amazing kids. I have a 15-year-old, twins that are 11, and a 7-year-old who's going on 17. And they, as you can imagine, keep me very busy. So my initial attraction to this business was to be their mom, because I was working in corporate America and I wasn't really being the mom that they deserved, nor that I really wanted to be. And so for me, the attraction was to really be able to start designing my life so that I could be a present individual to my husband, to my kids, to my friends, to my family. My journey started about 11 years ago when I got introduced to the product, because my older son at the time was in daycare on his way to kindergarten and bringing every illness known to daycare home to our twins. And working in corporate America, I got 12 sick days a year, which you can imagine gets used up awfully quickly with 3 kids and at the time. And I didn't really have any other options. And I got introduced to the product by my best friend, who said to me, why don't you give it a chance? So that's kind of where my product started. And for those of you who are somewhat familiar, but maybe not 100% familiar, the products are essentially concentrated fruits, veggies, berries in a capsule or a gummy form for kids. And we also have a plant-based omega blend, which bypasses the middle fish, which is amazing. And, so that's kind of where I got started. I got started because my son would get it for free if I ordered it. It was kind of, to me, a seamless solution for getting him healthy, getting him eating right, and keeping me from having to use all my sick days. About 4.5 years ago, my job was not as fulfilling as I would have hoped. I was missing a lot of time with my kids. As I said, I wasn't able to be the present mom I had really wanted to be. And my dad, unfortunately, passed away from ALS. And it was a really tough time for my family. And what I realized was I didn't even get to spend time with my dad while he was sick because I had to be at work. And I think about that now, and I realize that I don't ever want to have to put a job first before my family, because you don't get that time back. I have guilt about it, and that's something that I have to work through. But the only thing I can do now is move forward from here. And so I started doing a lot of soul searching, and I realized that I needed to find something else. I needed to find something that would allow me to be present for my kids, my husband, my mom, the rest of my friends and family. And I needed something that was going to give me some purpose. And once again, in swoops my best friend. I swear to God, she has a cape and ESP. And she comes in and she says to me, why don't you give this business a try? And after being gently persistent for a couple of weeks and me saying no, she said, give me one good reason why it wouldn't work. And I couldn't. And I honestly, it was at that moment, I think not so much the desperation, but it was truly a moment in my life where I was looking for something. I needed more purpose. I needed to be the mom I always wanted to be. I needed to design my day. I was tired of building somebody else's dream and allowing them to tell me and to dictate to me what was going to happen on a daily basis. I needed to take control back. And that's what this business gave me initially. What it's given me since is a community of people who celebrate me. They don't tolerate me, which is what I was getting in corporate America. I am building friendships with people that I probably never would have met. I'm impacting lives in ways that I never thought possible, but always dreamed I could. And the priceless piece of it is I don't miss a thing with my kids. Yes, there are days I'd like to clone myself because I can't be everywhere at once, like yesterday. But I don't miss anything. I don't have to say no. I say yes to life, and that is a gift that you can't put a price tag on. What this business started out for me as was grocery money to kind of bridge gaps in our financial situation, because we did have a lot of month at the end of the money, and it then grew into something that paid for a car payment, paid our mortgage, has allowed us to take wonderful vacations and then some. Did I think that that's what it was going to be? No, I actually didn't. But it's become now the plan B, because I did lose that corporate job that I was so tied to, that I was so loyal to for 11 years. I walked in one day and they said they didn't need me anymore. And the beauty of this business is that it was there waiting for me when that door shut. And so I'm eternally grateful that I had this thing that I didn't know what it was going to be in my back pocket. And now I get to take it anywhere, share it with people, share the joy of impacting positively other people's lives. And I get to work with amazing people like these every single day. So that's my story. I'm going to pass it on to Erin. She's going to share her amazing story. And I thank you and appreciate each and every one of you for being here.
Hi guys. Dina, thank you so much for sharing. That was so powerful. I'm like seriously about to be in tears already. So this is not going to be good. But anyway, my name's Erin. I am a bar and spin instructor. At least that's what I tell people, because technically I should not be getting up there teaching people, but somehow I am doing that, and I teach a little bit of HIIT, and it's just been incredible. And the reason it's so incredible is because the person I was when I joined this business is no longer here. Maybe my personality a little bit, but I have completely transformed in the past 3 years from when I started this business. And originally when I saw this business being posted on social media and I saw my trainer at my gym talking about it, I just knew I needed a change. I wasn't happy. I was not in a good place. I was really sick. I was unhealthy, and I knew that I needed a better way, not only in my career, but in my health. And my career was going downhill too. I decided to work in foster care because I wanted to help change people's lives, and I love children. And it ended up not being that at all. Instead, I was screamed at every single day by different people. The court system just failed these kids time after time. And I realized that I wasn't going to be able to make the income or the impact that I had wanted to make. And so I just found myself working more and more hours and becoming more and more angry at the system and at my job and at my paycheck and at all of these different things. And I was like, there's got to be a better way. And so when I was introduced to this business, I jumped on board because of the potential future that I could have, the potential to be happy, live an active, healthy life, have incredible friends, make an awesome paycheck. And those were all things that that weren't present in my life. And so this company has just completely transformed my life. I didn't know if I was going to touch on this, but I think I will, just because it's like super honest and real. Before I started with this company, I had a really difficult time with like alcohol and drinking, and like throughout the past 3 years, I've really transformed my life and just grown as a person. And none of that would be possible without the support that I found in this community. And so, yes, I have a paycheck. Yes, I'm out of foster care and I'm doing this company, but most of all, just me as a person, I'm so happy with who I am now. And I lived in Michigan at the time and was surrounded by the same people that I would drink with all the time and do these crazy things with. And I have now moved to Seattle. I have an incredible boyfriend. I live here with my dog. I live right in the city, and I couldn't be happier. Like, I don't have all my friends here, but I'm seriously evolving as a person. So I'm just so grateful for this company and for everything that it's brought to my life. And then I guess the last question, what have I been able to do just within this past month with my paycheck? Well, I guess it's not this past month, but it's really fueled my life here in Seattle. And I wouldn't be able to be a fitness instructor without it, because I would need to make another income. I would have to work full time and then teach early mornings, but it's allowed me to teach classes while making an income. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Peter.
Wow, that was super powerful, Erin. Thank you for sharing that. And Dina, your story as well. So like Erin said, my name is Peter, and I will tell you, I am 49 years old, 11 months, and 22 days. So yeah, I am rapidly approaching the big 5-0, and I'm really happy about that. You know, what initially attracted me to the business was, you know, at the time we were actually looking for something, my wife and I. You know, we have 4 amazing children, ranging in age from 21 down to 12. I can't believe my oldest is going to be 21, but you know, that was the initial thing. We were looking for something. We were looking to, you know, start a side business, do something where we could earn extra money. We had college looming for all the kids. But, you know, before that, a few years before that, you know, I was diagnosed with cancer at age 37, going on age 38, with 4 kids under the age of 12. And I knew at the time I needed a lifestyle change. So I started eating better, working out, exercising, and then the same good friend that contacted Dina actually reconnected with my wife. They were childhood friends. And she told me about the product, and I was already on my health journey, and I was like, wow, this makes total sense. I mean, you know, fruits and veggies in a capsule, awesome. It just enhanced my health journey at that point. And at the same time, she mentioned, hey, there was a business connected to it. And I was like, well, that's awesome. I'm like, wow. And it was super affordable. So we jumped in with both feet. You know, unfortunately, a few months later, I lost my mom. And then a few months after that, I lost my dad. So within 9 months, within a year of me joining the business, you know, they both were gone. And to be honest with you, that really messed me up for a few years. And long story short, I got back into the business in 2016 when the company I was with for 20 years let me go out of the blue. And the first person I called was that same friend that called Dina. And I said, I'm back in. You know, why do I bring up those things? You know, I'll tell you why. Because, you know, life is all about a journey and writing your story. And, you know, approaching age 50, I realized that, and I really realized it a few years ago, that, you know, life is way too short and you need to be able to write your own story. And that's one of the things that really, really attracted me to this business, the ability to design your own life, create a legacy business for myself and my family and my children, and, you know, not have to let other people write your story for you. You know, I'm essentially, the way I look at it is I'm 2/3 of the way through my story, maybe a little bit more. So this business really gives you the opportunity to write your own story, and it's allowing me to write the last few chapters of mine. You know, I'll share one more thing with you. And I don't think I've ever shared this, you know, and Erin, because you were so vulnerable, I'm going to share this as well. When I was a little kid, 7, 8, 9 years old, I wanted to be an entertainer. I did. The problem was 2 problems. 40-something years ago, the comment you got from your parents was, you'll never make any money at that, go get a real job. So right then and there, and I didn't realize this till a few years ago, I let them start writing my story, you know? And the second problem was I had zero talent. So that's the bigger part of the story. But I am fortunate. I get to live that dream through my children. I have two young ones, 16 and 12, that are in the arts and theater. So, my point is don't let other people dictate your future. I see a lot of varying ages on here, people in different stages of their life. It's never too late or too early to start writing your own story. Okay. And what it's done for us is it's allowed us to say yes to more things. My son is going to Pennsylvania Ballet for 6 weeks this summer. It's not inexpensive. My daughter goes to sleepaway camp for a month. It's not inexpensive. Then my son is going to another ballet school in Manhattan for 4 weeks. Same thing. This business has allowed us to do all those things. But the best thing, and the one thing, and I'm going to hand it off to Amy in a second, is that my oldest son will graduate college next May, and then he will go into the Marines as an officer, and then he will go into flight school. And my big why, the reason that I really do this, is I want to be able to write those chapters, have the freedom and flexibility that whenever Fletcher is stationed anywhere in the world, I can pick up and go whenever I want. This business comes with me. As long as you have your phone, you have your computer, So I want you all to think about who's writing my story. Is it me or is it somebody else? And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Amy. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Talk about like tears. I'm going to try and pull it together. But yeah, I'll just kind of jump into my story. That was so beautiful, all of you guys. And it's just so crazy to see like how different, but how similar all of our stories are. So before I was introduced to this business, I was a stay-at-home mom. I was blessed to be a stay-at-home mom. I'd love to say that it was really beautiful, but really we were struggling pretty bad financially. We were 25 when we had our son. And so it was just, when you're 25, you don't really have it made, but we made the decision that I wanted to stay at home. And I just felt like there had to be something that I could do. I actually had a background in nutrition. You don't have to in this business, but I had a background in nutrition, and I thought there has to be something I can do with this from home. And so I actually tried to start my own health coaching practice. And it was really awesome. It took off, but I found that it was the same thing where I was trading dollars for money, and I was missing out on time with my son. And I felt like I had to really compartmentalize my life. So my son was probably close to 18 months when I was introduced to this business. And it just blew me away because I had been praying for this for so long, for something that would fit into my life and what I wanted in my life. And I didn't have to fit into that because that's everything, even my health coaching business, building my own business. I still felt like I had to fit into other people's schedules. I had to bend over backwards for my clients. I had to do all these different things, and I wasn't able to be there for my son. So when I first saw this, what attracted me to it was that it was something that I could do that was mission driven, that I was actually helping people, and that would make me a better mom, make me more present. It would make me really find the parts of my day that I was wasting and actually making that useful. So that's what I saw. But then since I've been in it, it's been about a year now, and it's blown my mind. Like seriously, I started the business in Arizona. We found out a month later that we were moving to Michigan, and I was able to just pick up my business, continue to start it while we were moving here, getting settled through 3 different houses. And then as soon as I got here, it was like an immediate way for me to build community. I had tools and resources to reach out to people and to wrap my arms around people, to pour into them, and to have them be exposed to what I'm up to. So it allowed me to move here. And even though I had lived here before, it allowed me to give me an authentic way to reach out to other people and really feel like I was part of something bigger. And I've been able to fold this into my day with my son. I don't feel like I have to be step away from him at all. Like, I actually tell him, we're building this together. Like, you're helping me build this business. We get to do this together. And that is what honestly blows my mind. Sorry, but there was a picture of some top people in our business, some moms, that they were at this big conference that our company flew them out to, because there's some big things that our company is up to right now. And you saw these moms on the floor with their babies at this meeting. And that is what this business is about. It's about bringing all of you, whether you're a parent or you're not, but every single piece of you gets to be part of this business. You don't have to be something separate. You get to just figure out how it's going to work for you. So that is like what it's grown into, that I get to see. And now we're actually in the process of moving back to Arizona. It's a crazy, crazy life. But I get to kind of hustle for this business for a short period of time. When something comes up in life, like Peter had mentioned with his parents passing, you can step away and you still have people that are working for you and encouraging you. And then you can do bits and pieces just to make ends meet, and then you can sprint again. So it's not something where you have to show up every single day for a certain amount of hours. You just get to keep momentum, which is so foreign, I know. But anyways, so that's what it's been able to do. As far as just financially for our family, I've been able to actually provide, to take that edge off of my husband. Being a young man, feeling like he has to fully provide for his family is a lot of weight to carry. So I've been able to bury that for him, and just kind of help him feel like he's not the only one that's providing for our family. So that is just a little bit of my story. And I, again, want to piggyback off of what Peter had said, is just, if you take anything from this call, believe me, I've been part of so many inspiring calls, and it's so easy to walk away from these calls and be like, oh, that was great, but that's not for me. We are all normal people with no experience, had no idea what we were doing, and people came alongside us and showed us who we could be, and not to be something different, but to be more of who we are. And so I just want to encourage you and to tell you that you are special. If you were invited to this call, it's because someone saw something in you that you might not see, or maybe you do and you don't feel like it's being valued. And we want you to be part of our community, and we want to make that shine. So we're always trying to spread our message, to spread our mission, and we would love for you to be a part of that. So if whoever invited you to this call, please reach out to them after this and tell them what your biggest takeaway it was, and they can kind of guide you through what the next steps are. But I just want to leave you with what Peter was saying. Just write your own story. If you take anything from this, just think about your life. Think about what has gotten you to the point where you are right now, and do you want that to take you to where you want to go? And if you don't, cut it off and write something new, because we've all done that and you can too. So thank you so much for being on this call. We appreciate you, and we are just so blessed to be able to spend this time with you.
See you guys later.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.